Multiverses was a highly anticipated crossover fighting game that was announced in 2021. However, despite the initial hype and excitement for the game, it ultimately failed to gain traction and was eventually cancelled. Or should I say, closed? Apparently, this one was only a beta test, but from a consumer standpoint, it did not feel that way at all. Since Multiverses had purchasable characters and customizations that took actual money, it feels like players who put their time and money into the game have gotten robbed. But I'm getting ahead of myself a little bit. Let's talk about why Multiverses failed and how it created controversy for the gaming community. Real quick, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe if you like the content. I'm really close to 1K subs, so I really appreciate it. Anyways, back to the video. Reason number 1, they have a lack of unique selling point. While the idea, of course, of a crossover fighting game featuring multiple different characters from different universes is certainly exciting, Multiverses didn't do anything special in that regard. So for example, we already have Super Smash Bros. So Super Smash Bros. Have characters from different universes, and it plays incredibly well. It has years of work and effort that got put into it, so it's hard to really compete with that. And seeing as though we've seen multiple other games try to do the same thing, like PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale, the Nickelodeon All-Star Battle game, all these games have tried to do the same thing and somehow are just not hitting the mark. And I believe that falls into reason number 2, their limited character roster. They have a total of 22 characters, which is not bad for a fighting game, not at all. It's just one of the biggest drawbacks when it comes to a crossover fighting game, because the ability of a crossover fighting game is to have multiple different characters from multiple universes battling it out. So if we only have 22, and then we look at Smash Ultimate, for example, who has 89, the numbers are staggering, and that the gameplay doesn't allow for those numbers to matter. Like if we look at Super Smash Bros. Melee, for example, where it doesn't have nearly as many characters as Ultimate, but still has a strong player base. Why is that? But in this game, we don't have it. And that's a problem. Reason number 3. This game had poor marketing. While the initial announcement of Multiverses was pretty hype and generated a lot of buzz, the marketing campaign leading into the game's release was pretty lackluster. Many players were unaware of the game's development or simply lost interest over time. And I think that was mainly because at the beginning of the game coming out, we had top players from different Smash games like Void or Hungrybox who judged up a lot of hype for the game by making a lot of content around it. But after that initial hype period was gone, so was the hype for the game. And there was nothing else in the game that continued to have players want to continue playing it. Like they tried to add new characters, but the characters that they added weren't what players were necessarily looking for. Looking at you, LeBron. But yeah, there's something that they could have done better to maybe have this work in the future. Reason number 3, competing titles. So the fighting game genre is highly competitive, with several big name titles already dominating the market. Like I've already mentioned a lot already, Super Smash Bros., but other games of course in the fighting game genre like Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter, about to have Street Fighter 6 come out. These games have such a loyal fan base, and they're constantly releasing new content and marketing really well to get people excited for the new games. And that's something that Multiverses just didn't have, and most new games that come out don't have. It's really hard for new games nowadays to break that mold of all these people who are enjoying these older titles. Reason number 5, development issues. Finally, there may have been some internal development issues that contributed to this game's demise. It's possible that the game simply wasn't coming together as planned with the release of this beta, or that there were disagreements among the development team that ultimately led to the game's postponement. As a customer, I had no idea that this was offered as a beta. I and many others assumed that this was the full game, which is definitely our fault, but what if this game doesn't come back for a full release? Will players get refunded the in-game purchases they made? Probably not, because you know how Warner Bros. Is. They're not repaying anything. So that's it just doesn't feel right to me. It doesn't hit me the right way. In the end, the Multiverses fighting game's failure can likely be attributed to the combination of these factors. While the idea of a crossover fighting game featuring characters from different universes is certainly exciting, it takes more than just a good concept to create a successful game. We've seen that time and time again. The developers certainly put a lot of time and effort into making this a fun ride for players, but that was it. Just a ride. And as soon as the music part closed, they locked the door on us. So maybe they'll come back, maybe they won't, but I know for sure I will be continuing playing this game. But what do you think? Do you think Multiverses is coming back? Let me know what you think in the comment section below, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos like this in the future. Thank you so much for watching and have a great rest of your day.